Oh boy, I can't get this right. Really? Hold on. Sound guy. Why am I not hearing this? Sound guy. Not it. Sound guy. Together.
Bring in the boss squad, I'm gonna get mine. Go do the crime if you can't do the time. Don't tell me how you're off and down. When you're
Start that
in
over.
my face, but you play me like a clown. It's
Start
your
that
fool
over.
bitch. So just step back.
It's past 420.
When I come down straight, I thought you were my piece, but you play me out. Now I'm mad as hell, and I pull us out.
Get over here, AJ.
Party crashers. I do have another microphone over there if you want to get
Did we miss the?
We
it's
missed 420. I screwed it all up.
It's
I screwed
okay.
it all up.
It's 420 all the time for us. So do you know where your lighters are? I do. Today, I will be lighting up with Carrie Leaf Case. I recently won their giveaway. I was blessed. Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to put the number up here. Call in and tell us where your lighters are.
Yo, AJ. Sorry.
So, AJ in the house? Hello,
Yes,
AJ.
Sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, so call in now. There's the number, 908-616-0682. Tell us, do you know where your lighters are? I love that. We're going to have a new thing. That's how we're starting the show. Do you know where your lighters are? And I know where mine is and where it's going. It's going to light that fat joint right there. So this is how we're going to...
Hash hole.
Oh, it's a hash hole. So we're gonna start the show with our song here, and let's try it again.
Bring in the boss squad, I'm gonna get mine. Go do the crime if you can't do the time. Don't tell me how you're off and down. When you're smiling in my face, but you play me like a clown, it's your fool bitch. So just step back. I'm mad that when I come down straight, I thought you were my piece, but you play me out. Now I'm mad as hell, and I pull us out. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Let's think. Let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Let's think. Let's roll. I'm back on the scene, it's time to get mean. I'm a lean, revolution machine. For what people stay, they sway. For today is good as any day. Y'all feel slightly this, let's resist. Raise your fist and pump like this. Promises all the time. Don't cross the line, but you know it's mine. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Let's think. Let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Let's think. Let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Let's think. Let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Let's think. Let's roll.
Double time. Get something in your rear. 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 Double time. Get something in your rear.
Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Let's see. Let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna with? Who you wanna roll 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 with? Huh?
Bro, can I hear you?
Hello.
There we go.
Yo.
Hi, Sue.
Hi. Why do I keep?
Oh, I'm going to fix that right now.
Blurry.
Hold on.
Okay,
Sorry.
okay.
Bad sound guy. But how's that? There we go. Uh-oh. I lost my. There we go. What's
Still
going
blurry,
on?
but that's right.
We're blurry?
I am.
Oh, you're blurry. Clean your camera. You probably got
I did. I did. I
What?
did. I pulled up
Schmutz.
all this help stuff. Wait, do it again.
schmutz check. Say that.
No.
See it? Look, it's better.
The schmear.
Get the schmear off there. Hold on, your mic has to come up a little bit.
Hang on, let me try.
Now, two, game, looking at the camera. Okay. So, yeah, nobody's calling in about their lighters today, but yeah, I like that. At 4:20, we're going to start the show. It's 4:20 p.m. Do you know where your lighters are? And then call in with your lighter stories, your crazy lighter stories.
Please.
Kindly call in. And bless your heart if you do call in. Yeek. So, who's our guest today, Sue?
Dave Cilio. He is a nurse practitioner. He's from Jersey. He lives in Jersey. He popped on a few weeks ago, and he does a lot of political stuff. So besides being a cannabis nurse. So anyway, he'll be on. I probably told him 5:30, like I tell everybody, so that we could get set up. Anyway, you'll like him because he's gonna talk your talk.
He's been on before for a couple of minutes, right?
Right. Yeah.
We were doing something else.
He's a really good guy. He's a really cool guy.
Yeah, we didn't get a chance to really get into it with him, I don't think.
No. So,
Hey, how you doing? What's going on, guys? Yeah, we're having an event on Sunday, Cannabis Church. So come back on Sunday. We're having, you can smoke weed, and we're going to praise God on Sunday.
Hashi Hallelujah.
Yes.
And then later on in the day, we're having a Pride Puff and Paint. Definitely want to come check it out. Of course.
Yeah.
Make sure on your way out, you go stop over at Mad Hatter Dispensary.
Yeah, and the food truck is out here. They have the best tacos. They had fried pork chops yesterday. Oh, my goodness. The rice and beans, the best beans I ever had in my life.
Thank you.
Yeah, the beans have like cilantro and like potatoes or something in there. Oh,
Thank you.
Oh.
Thank you.
yeah. I'm telling you.
Stay hashy.
I'm going to, stay hashy. I'm going to get fat working here now because there's a taco truck out here.
I know this is going to be dangerous.
Oh, my God.
yeah, that's a dangerous thing to have.
Get right up on that thing.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Right up.
For real.
Okay.
Where's Jim?
Oh, he's probably waiting to get in.
Jim Miller.
I'm on full screen here, and I'm probably not even looking to see if he's on. Sorry, Jim. Yeah, he's right there. Hey, he hasn't been waiting long. Hi, Jim.
He's sleeping.
Hello,
Wakey.
Wait, keep...
Wakey.
4 years. 3 years later. He was waiting on us.
I hear a delay. I just heard the bell
So,
in somebody's TV. Hey, Harry. Oh, bye. You're good.
Let me shut my door here. Be picking up stuff.
Panones does more than just cook food.
oh, yeah.
He's actually constructing the building right now. He's literally, when I first saw him come here with a food truck, he was actually welding. He was welding like a bunch of stuff. And I'm like, whoa, this guy's for real. He's serious. He knows a lot of stuff. He's one of those Renaissance men. You ever know the Renaissance man? They do like everything. Back in the day,
Yes.
that's what they called him.
Yeah, I was just
Renaissance
going to say
men.
he's literally multi-talented.
Multitasking, multi-talented.
Back in the day.
And we were just talking about the food because people come in here and we're like, no, come back on Sunday. But Go to the food truck right now. Right now, go to the food truck and check out some fried pork chops. Check out the rice and beans. Oh my goodness, the plantains with garlic on them. You put garlic on your plantains. Come on, man. Come on.
Garlic and honey. You ever put garlic and honey on plantains? Oh, yum.
Elish.
Garlic and honey. She's talking about garlic and honey on the plantains.
Delicious.
Yeah. It will have some honey, infused honey.
Yeah, I was just going to say, we got to do all the infused sauces.
Infused honey, garlic, plantains. Infused honey, garlic, plantains. Yeah, let's make a song. Let's do it. Let's do this. Oh, my goodness. The food is so amazing out here. And they haven't even started. They're going to have specials during the week. So they have their basic menu, but then they're going to have specials.
Yeah, I can't wait. I will admit I haven't tried it, but it smells amazing. Everyone I work with at Mad Hatter, including Sativa Cross, he has also tried it and told me that it is delish.
Oh, my goodness. 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Would eat it again. Gotta get fatter at the Mad Hatter.
Get your shirt splattered at the Mad Hatter.
It don't matter at the Mad Hatter.
That's cute.
Do you make batter at the Mad Hatter?
Not yet.
Cake batter?
But we have batter at the Mad Hatter.
You sell batter. But does Panone's make batter? Maybe they'll do pancakes in the morning, and then they'll have batter at the Mad
And
Hatter.
in the morning, I'm making waffles. I low-key forgot about the hash roll. This I used NJ Cannabis Market flour and concentrate. I used Happy Farmer Boston Runts. I love Runts flour. I will admit I am a Runts girly. And then I used for the concentrate to make it a hash hole donut. It was Super Flux, sourced from Botanist.
Do you have a you got a thing for it?
I don't. I have Super Fluxes. This. I don't have the Happy Farmer on me. They source their they use Botanist flour to make Super Flux concentrates.
Super fluff concentrates.
They've come a long way. A lot of the brands on the New Jersey Cannabis Market have come a long way.
Super fluff.
Jim, wakey, come on. Well, you're not talking.
Jim, are you muted? Oh, Jim's muted.
He's on his phone.
Oh, he's on his phone. Let's hear your private conversation. We want to know what you're talking about. Are you talking to Scutari? I bet he's
Jim,
talking.
unmute yourself.
No, he would actually be yelling. He'd be angry if he was talking to Scutari.
Well, there you go.
I have a list of things to do, and I wanted to make sure where I was on it, so I know how quick I got to do stuff tonight. Basically, seeing if I could extend a proper invitation to Troy Singleton and Vinigo Paul to step outside for a few minutes on Thursday. So I gave it my best shot, and I wanted to make sure I had sent them out, pushed send, because I don't multitask well.
Happens to the hashiest of us, I like to say. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't.
Sometimes I feel like a nut.
Sometimes I forget how much I can forget.
Yeah. Feeling hashy? Well, you better get hashy.
Seriously.
Ashy or hashy?
You better get hashy now. Get hashy now.
Hopefully you're not ashy.
Are you trying to start a new phrase with hashy or so? I do that all the time.
She did. Shelby did this already. This is her
am
thing.
known in New Jersey as New Jersey's hashy girl.
Hashy girl.
Oh, there you go.
Yes.
Then you got to be able to use that word.
So, Lefty, can you introduce us? I don't.
You don't know Shelby?
Yes.
No, I don't know Shelby.
You guys.
Hi, Shelby. I'm Sue.
Okay, well, Shelby is you're the GM, I guess, for Mad Hatter, right? You're the GM. You have like 10 jobs here. First of all,
What don't I do?
Yeah,
I'm
she does
Kim
everything.
Kardashian West.
Just tell them what you do. You look
Nice
like
to meet
everything.
you.
You name it, I do it here.
Social media.
Social
Wow,
media
don't say
is
that
my
to me.
specialty. Hey, yo.
Yep. Make it loud.
I specialize in the marketing and social media. I help in the vault with the vault manager. I help everywhere a little bit. My second favorite I love helping with the ordering. But yeah, everything I do here, I love here. So we're all matched. Look, this is how crazy I am.
Interior decorating.
So Lefty, when you're counting on one hand and you get to 5, the pinky is 6. You start from the other and you come back as far as 9.
Oh, it's not 5 in the thumb?
No, it's 5. Okay, you went
5,
1,
and
2,
then
3, 4, 5. No, yeah, but you see, you didn't have that hand available, so it's like, okay, if you in darts, your scores, they always signal your scores, and when you get above 5, it's 6, 7, 8, and 9. I forget, I never got a 9. That's a perfect score for a friend.
I love it. It's gaping.
I'm just waiting on the edible to kick in.
Really?
I'll be good real quick.
Really gaping? You're going to say a word like that? You should know better.
I should reload it and make it.
Yeah, actually, Lefty, not knowing it is a good thing. Not knowing how you're using that reference is a good thing. And if somebody did know, they should pretend not to.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, right.
So we're at the State House next week. I'm excited about that. Rotary comes out, and we're going to have a nice day smoking weed at the State House lawn.
That's awesome.
It's fun.
It'll be after 4 days, 95 to 100, and then it goes down to 90. So by the time we get to 90 degrees on the podcast, it's still going to feel pretty good. We're in the shade, though, mostly.
Thursday?
Next Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see. Hopefully it's cooled down by then. I know Tuesday it's supposed to reach the hundreds, like 103 or something, I heard.
Whoa. All right.
Yeah.
Well, we have a tree and a tent that we're under.
Sounds lovely.
So,
Yes, we do.
and it's pretty windy where we're at.
It's not going to be windy that day.
It's never that hot. No. It's always colder than we need it, but never too hot.
Man, talk about jinxing us for about a 95-degree day with that statement. Nature's going to take that as a challenge.
How's it going, man? No, we're having events here now. So on Sunday, we're having a cannabis church. So if you want to come back for cannabis church, we're going to smoke weed and praise God on Sunday.
Hashi hallelujah.
Yeah. And also
Do
puff
you like
and paint.
to paint?
Puff and paint, too.
Do you like to paint? Paint.
No painting.
We're having a puff and paint after a Hashi hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's us here. So, so we're doing come back Sunday for Hashi Hallelujah, 11 o'clock on Sunday. It'll be fun.
Bye. Stay Hashi.
So you can come out to 845 Route 1 Avenel on Sunday and have a Hashi Hallelujah with us. I love you. I love live commercials like this. It's the best thing ever. It's the best thing ever. They come in looking for one thing and going out thinking something else. We're renting time in his head right now. He's like, Hashi Hallelujah.
There's more.
This is fun. What happens when all these people show up? All of them. All of them, and they're all here with nobody else.
What happens? What do you mean? That's a rhetorical question. They get a Hashi hallelujah. And then if they stay long enough, they get to enjoy the Pride Puff and Paint.
Yes, that's it. That's the answer we're looking for.
Shit. And they'll get Hashi with us. Whoever, that ding, it was perfect. I heard a ding when I was like, I need that.
I need that thing in my life. Oh,
Get it.
So you brought up Don the other day, and since I'm not blocking him right now, I'm sure he's watching and listening. I actually feel bad for him, bro. I feel actually bad for him to stoop to those levels to say those things that he said. He's got mental problems, man, and nobody normal would say stuff like that.
How do you feel about the not even veiled Well, I'd call them threats. Why didn't you answer your door, you fat piece of shit? Or whatever. Why didn't you answer your door? You know, it's an indicative. And also to say about Wayne, I'd only wish I'd put him in that box myself. How else do you take that? I'm just saying at some point, you know,
Yeah, it's meant
whatever
to.
mental problems or issues he does have are going to spill over, left unattended totally.
Sometimes I don't know all the factors in this
Well,
situation.
thing is, you know,
Excuse
you don't really want to be going, I wish I'd paid more attention to that possibility at any one given point. I'm just saying, see, that's my life insurance policy. It's not a life insurance. It's on that I don't, in my life, I try not to say I wish I had. So I run the risk benefit of things, looking at it like that.
Well, he's one of those people. If something really awful happens, I'm like, yeah, I saw that coming. I saw that coming. He's just
Yeah,
one of those.
well, you're like
Hey,
using a
Lefty,
ladder. You're like, it's like using a ladder saying, I'll get a new one when this one breaks, but it breaks on you, you know? So that's prevented by recognizing when something is more than just vaguely possible, you know? I mean, if he wasn't, if he's a little more balanced mentally, I'm trying not to say it in a, you know, very bad way, but yeah, I'd agree. You know, just kind of let it run. I haven't blocked him either, you know.
Hey, Lefty, I have a question for you. Can you see
Glenn
who's
Miller. Oh, we got another Miller. Awesome, Glenn. Yeah, well, yeah, commenting does feed. That's why I'll comment
can't talk.
one time and then, you know, I don't even bother looking for the reply except for it comes across my thing, you know. And actually saying that on William Haney's post, him trying to do something because he can't get out there to be with everybody, like memorializing Wayne, and to have it interrupted. I mean, you know, William, he's more constrained than us to have any effect on what's going on.
It doesn't bother me coming from him at all. I actually feel bad for him.
Yeah, well, when he insults somebody like William Haney unnecessarily, I can't turn that cheek.
Sick.
You know, I feel like I'm being an enabler at that point. You might consider that.
That's why I blocked him. I unblocked him, and I can't block him again for 48 hours. I'm kind of pissed. So he can look at all my shit right now. But that's okay, Don. I'm blocking you in about 5 more hours. Don't worry. It's coming. That block's coming. Get your fill now, because activism, it's gone.
Listen, you know, if anything, the fact that he calls all of Wayne's friends a clique sounds like somebody who always wished he would be in a clique, and he was never in a clique.
Yeah.
So that's sort of like the projecting against people who are.
He likes negative energy, and like negative attention is any attention. He likes it. So,
could it be possible that if all you ever had was negative attention, that maybe that'd be absolute?
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, I don't want to give him any more energy. I just wanted to.
Who are you talking about?
Mention that. Sue, did you have something you were going to say?
Yeah, I wanted to know if you could see who's in the audience by any chance. Can you see from your place?
Only on Instagram.
Pretend
Hi,
like,
Instagram.
pretend like you're scrolling down a long list to look through, too.
Old Ben Weisenfeld, Sammy Adams, James Marks, Chris Almada, future councilman Chris Almada,
Yeah, Chris.
and Guy, the mushroom guy, the mushroom guy. We know who you are, Guy, and we know what you're doing. We know what you're doing, Guy.
I'm just glad he doesn't call himself Guy like a Canadian would.
Guy's tripping right now. If I had my echo, I would screw with his head, buddy.
Do you? Do you?
No. I do. I ain't gonna. It's not easy anymore. I got to go through a whole menu and stuff now. And so this mixer is amazing, but there's a whole process to things, and it's not easy. Nothing's ever easy.
Find yourself an intern. I don't know. There's got to be somebody there to be a whiz at this that would sit down with you just to get high like you are doing.
That's right. Give me a sound guy. Give me a
And
producer.
contribute, you know?
Hey, those lights over in the studio? Whose lights are those?
I thought they were yours. I
No.
guess they are Matthew's.
Oh, that makes sense. There's
Yeah.
a lot of stuff here now. I
A
know.
lot of stuff.
Stuff everywhere.
Stuff and things.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be with you in about 2 minutes. The edibles are starting to kick in.
I was just about to say, are you feeling hashy?
Yeah, it's going. I had a moderately heroic dose by my standards, so it should be fun.
Nice.
It really has been pretty active couple of weeks by, in my world, well, pretty much everybody, I would think. But
There's a story about Chris in the Heady, New Jersey. Did you see Heady, New Jersey's article about Chris?
not yet.
I did. I saw it.
It's amazing.
Yeah, that was nice.
Longtime cannabis advocate Chris Almada won the Democratic nomination to be the Dover Third Ward Town Councilman in a primary upset this week. He beat incumbent Councilman Michael Sciarno 204 to 126. Almada is a leading active Sativa Cross advocate, currently serving as the vice president. Sciarno is the ally of Dodd. Incumbent Shady Mayor James Dodd. Sativa Cross treasurer Edward Lefty Grimes had issues with Dodd when he protested anti-consumption laws at a town council meeting wearing a costume. Almada said Dodd has been suppressing.
You should have said trick or treat. You should pull a pumpkin with you next time and say trick or treat.
Oh
That
man,
would be fun.
this article is great. It's got so
Yeah,
much.
did he mention that since he's unopposed, he won? I mean, he's in.
Well, here's the deal. What Dodd did on the last day is when he saw everyone was losing, he ran a Republican against Chris and the other two that won. So now Chris has to face a Republican in November.
Well, good. Now he gets to say stuff. People listen, and then he'll be elected either way. Oh, this is the same Chris that takes it upon himself to do cleanups in areas where nobody else will. For no money at his own expense.
That's Chris Almada right there.
Yeah, I mean that's sort of like I think that should resonate with people. Hey, he could invite him out to burn up cleanups. He'd get some votes that way.
He's got compassion because he went through hell with his surgeries after his accident. I think he had like 40 surgeries. I think he lost count.
40 surgeries.
They had one where it was just so many. He had scars all up and down his body.
You ain't trumping out, are you?
Huh?
You aren't trumping out, are you? 40?
40.
Because if you were, it'll be 60 the next time you say it.
Yeah, really.
Okay, maybe it's
I just don't know where in the progression you might be.
I've been 41 or 39.
Yeah.
You've been very chatty all week. You know that?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's good.
I mean, I like it.
I have to be. I have to be a chatty host. I can't just sit here like a mope, right?
Well,
And I'm smoking like sativas mostly. But you gave me an indica before that knocked me on my ass. But then you put some that wax. Was that sativa?
Yes.
See the wax. The wax got me up
It
because
was Scarlet Fire from Superflux. Sativa.
I'm able to do a podcast because of Scarlet. What?
Scarlet Fire.
Scarlet Fire. Let's do it again. I'm able to do this podcast because of
Scarlet Fire.
Where would you get Scarlet Fire? I don't know where to get it.
It is a cross between Redheaded Stranger
Yeah,
and
but where would I go to get it?
Oh, you get your you get
Mad Hatter Dispensary.
Yeah, there you go. Come on, that's a lead-in T-ball. Boom, home run.
I love it. Says the lineage is Redheaded Stranger crossed with unknown Mexican.
I've never heard it described as lineage. I love that.
oh,
I mean, it is actually a living thing. So
get your wax and shatter at the Mad Hatter.
did you ever try to track your lineage? It's kind of fun to do.
I have been
No.
thinking about it.
I tracked mine all the way back to ISIS.
anything to brag about?
Wait, what?
Oh, yeah. I was queen. I still
Not like Queen for a day. Queen.
No, I was the queen.
Good, because Queen for a day, they were real losers.
Nah. Nah, I'm never anything for the day.
At least the weekend.
That shit stays.
Where's my phone?
Lineage is fun. And I did do one of those, what do you call them? DNA things. So mine came up 97% Italian,
Wow.
And-
Wow.
3% Middle Eastern.
Interesting.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I don't think I want to know.
I do.
I didn't really want to know. It was just kind of like forced on me, like from family. They wanted to know.
Johnny.
And I don't care.
Eastern European and a little bit of Iberian, which is Spanish. So I'm a conqueror and a colonist on 2 colonies. My ancestors
Okay.
conquering both continents. Thank you, my ancestors. Great.
Yeah, you don't want to offend Portuguese by saying Iberian and Spanish because, they're the only other part of the Iberian Peninsula that isn't Spanish.
Those are my ancestors. Those are my people.
Okay.
Those are your peeps.
Conquistadors.
Conquistadores.
Mhm.
Yes, conquistadores. Right, Chris? Conquistadores.
Chris is laughing right now. He's like, "No, you white guys, you don't know what you're talking about."
Hey, I'm still mad that they call the Philadelphia Phillies player Castellano. They call him Castellano. Casti. I mean, with a hard I, Castellano. Now, he probably just never told them Castellano. I mean, you don't have to have an it.
If it's the home team,
I
they
just,
should.
I just don't want people get,
If he's on that
they
way,
like Jim Miller, nobody gets wrong. So,
well, if it's an
I don't
away
have to
game,
face that.
if it's an away game, you definitely are. If you're an announcer, you want to mispronounce the batters just to screw with them. If you're-
Really?
Well, yeah. It's the home team advantage. You got the announcer on your side talking shit.
Mhm. I don't use my birth name. It's too long.
Your birth name.
My birth name is Assunta Rosa Di Gregorio.
Oh, I like that.
You like
Whoa.
that?
Very nice.
Yeah,
How do you spell that?
yeah, really. I like that.
How do you spell it?
ASUNTA.
ASSUNTA ROSE, and then Di Gregorio. It's all phonetics.
Wow. I did not know that. I learned
Yeah.
something new today.
Yeah, see.
Well, most foreign words, especially, I don't know about Italian, but in Spanish, they all kind of sound like they look. I mean, the rules for Spanish
That's
are
how Italian is.
so cut and clear that there are not many ways to say it unless you go off the rails somewhere. And I find that I used to practice reading things in Spanish because I wouldn't know exactly what they're saying, but I got actually pretty good at reading it. Just because I make everything a game.
Italian and Spanish are very similar.
Yeah.
So if
Guy
you can
wants to
understand
know.
Italian, you can understand Spanish.
So Gaetano wants to know:
What?
is it gravy or sauce?
It's sauce.
Right?
Sauce.
I like the second one. It's sauce. Don't look at that TV stuff where real Italians call it gravy.
Turkey.
Yeah.
Sauce.
I hear a delay. Who's got their TV on or radio in the background? Is
Yeah.
That's probably.
that you? You got to turn that down. It's a delay too, so it's like
Mad Hatter Dispensary is next door.
yeah. But we're having events here now. So on Sunday we're having cannabis friendly church. So if you want to come back and worship God and smoke weed, come back Sunday, 11:00.
Come back Sunday.
That's it. And you can come too. Come back at 11:11. They're looking for adult movies, and we have adults and children in these movies. They're actually from church, adults, children, worshiping God. Come on down to Mad Hatter, worship God with us, with adults and
When did you start pointing at the camera like that? That fooled me twice. Like he pointed right at me.
And look how chatty he is, right? He's very chatty. He's very His eyes are wide open.
I love when people come in here and we can do it for the live commercial. It's like one of my favorite things right now.
We
Well, you
chatter.
know, every time I hear you talk about your
Say that again, loud.
services,
We chatter at the Mad Hatter.
Thank you.
my brother that I haven't seen in a year. I got a brother you all don't know, but he came from Florida, and stayed through Thursday, Father's Day, for stepdad George, and went back. I hadn't seen him in a long time. Four of us don't hardly ever all get together, and he's like the one. He's the one of us that he goes to church every Sunday morning for pastor. I forget what his name is. Does a lot of work at the church. He's like, you know, he's kind of like you in that area, but we watched, because we wanted to be respectful, we watched a YouTube version of his minister's or pastor's Father's Day sermon, you know. And I thought, you know what? I mean, I'll sit down and watch it, but he was really happy that we would sit with him and watch that. However, I wasn't expecting delivery of a 67-year-old white Chris Rock. His entire thing, it was like he was imitating Chris Rock, and he even, not just to the, so then when you have to do the you know, and he's walking and pointing, is really very compelling. It was very interesting to do that. I mean, you close your eyes, you'd swear there's no way he was white. And then Tom said, well, that's because he had a larger ministry at one time, and he was probably the only white person there. And I thought, well, that all makes sense. But then I started thinking of you, Lefty, like, how would this guy go over on your Sunday morning, non-denominational, you know? And I tried to listen to everything that he said and looking for metaphors I can at least relate to, you know? Anyway, I'm going to look that back up and send you a link of that service I watched, and you can watch it for just a couple of minutes and tell me what you think, because I don't know what to think, but you might, you know?
Sure.
I can't interpret it like you would. It was really, he would like and point to, and walk, and kind of never stood real still. But he would, even then, he would just say something and go, like, give that Chris Rock follow-up look, like, you know what I mean, look. You know, he'd do that regularly.
Hey, how's it going?
My family owns it.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Am I the one building?
What's that?
Am I the one building?
What do you work with the food truck?
Yeah.
You with the food truck, right?
Yeah, we're back.
Right here.
Right here.
I got you.
Yeah, right here.
So, like, you don't put a sign out saying this for you where they're walking in. It's a good way to get some traffic, and, you know, maybe Sunday morning converts.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I think this whole room is going to be filled with people that used to be customers here on Sunday. That would be
They're
actually.
gonna get hashy at the Hatter
Mhm.
and fatter at the Hatter.
We're going to chatter.
It don't matter.
The Mad Hatter, because it don't matter. This is a great thing here. Listen to this. Glenn says when his mom passed, her family did the family tree, and on her side of the family, there came from 1620. They came here in 1620 as Scottish Vikings, ended up blending with the French Canadian Indians. They drifted down to Vermont, and some of them ran an underground railroad getting slaves to freedom.
Mhm.
That's
That's pretty cool.
cool, man.
It is, yeah.
Whoa.
Leaning more towards maybe I'd like to hear something like that. But see, if I hear something like that, I feel like I'm letting down my lineage. You know, I'm here. What am I doing? You know, but that's pretty cool. That's one worth mentioning for sure.
It's Johnny Trash says it's sauce. It's sauce.
Sue's not biting. She's smiling.
It's so awesome.
Can we dab batter at the Mad Hatter? Yes, we're going to have batter at the Mad Hatter. We're going to make cake batter at the Mad Hatter, pancake batter, the Mad Hatter. Get your shirt splattered at the Mad Hatter. Make yourself fatter at the Mad Hatter.
Get yourself batter at the Mad Hatter.
Just a smatter.
Just a smatter.
It's a smatter at the
And the former, not the latter.
climbing the corporate ladder here at the Mad Hatter. Ho ho!
What's the matter, Mimi? You want to go out the door?
Nothing's the matter at the Mad Hatter.
You wanna go out the door?
There's nothing the matter at the Mad Hatter.
You wanna go out
Nothing.
there? Come on.
There's nothing the matter here at the Mad Hatter.
Yes. He knows you're home.
Shit don't matter when you're at the Mad Hatter. Shit don't matter when you're at the Mad Hatter.
I still like that as a backing vocals to you getting some lyrics out there, you know.
Okay, Glenn says, "Do not ask me about my father's side of the family, though." Jim,
Why not?
you
Now I'm gonna ask.
Thank you. Now you
Do we flip a coin to
take that one.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to ask Glenn about something I hope he'll tell us anyway. This way, it's kind of like asking, but hoping, and it's not asking. I don't want to be presumed. My dad was, he was a good role model for me, but I'm not sure,
Hi, Rose.
yeah. I mean, we were like his little playmates, and that's what every 3 boys want, On the other hand, it'd be like visitation days because he's the kind of dad that sooner or later it's going to be visitation days, and that happened around 4th grade, and it'd be like, and then when we moved down to Tom's River, and I was like in 8th grade, it'd be like he'd come down on Sundays and where do you want to go, and no matter where it was, most of the time we'd end up at a bar where you could play pool and eat all the peanuts and have all the Coca-Cola you wanted. And, and
That's nice. My kids didn't have a father. I hatched them.
yeah. Well, you probably saved them.
I hatched them.
You hatched them.
Yes.
I didn't hear that. Huh. All at once?
Oh, no, one at a time. No, you know what? They were good. I have brothers,
Yeah. That'll work.
boyfriends.
Yeah.
So,
That'll work.
yeah, it was all good.
Now, some people, when they have a baby, they save the placenta and they cook it. Is that like
Yes.
a thing? Yeah, that's a thing. You do that?
No, I don't.
That's a thing, though.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
They fry it. You fry it up in a pan.
I was 16 years old. I was not thinking anything about placentas or frying them. Yeah. That's gross.
Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?
Okay, I'm sorry. I just thought that was a thing because people do eat placenta. It's a thing.
No, it's not a
I
big
have
thing.
heard of this.
oh, I'm going to make up something too now.
No, we're not making it
Give me
up.
time.
No, he's not making it up. He's right.
No.
It is a thing, but
Apparently, it is healthy as well.
Yes, it's
it's
good
not
for you.
very popular right now.
Sounds disgusting.
It does sound disgusting. Yeah. When I was in college, when I went to school for nursing, and the first time I watched C-section. Now I already had kids. I just stood there and I was like, ew, that's disgusting. I couldn't wait to get out of there.
Oh my goodness. Rose says, "Hi, Rose. I know someone who saved their placenta to make capsules and had it stolen out of their out of the freezer. Crazy stuff."
Yeah, well, the joke's on whoever stole it now, isn't it? Wonder what these
Yeah.
are.
They thought
I
they
don't
were
feel anything.
fun.
I don't feel anything either.
Oh my
I
goodness.
drugs in the freezer.
All right, back to Glenn. Glenn, his father had. Wait, your other. Oh
He's
my
got
God.
involvement with
Nazis? Nazis. The last name was changed from Muller to Miller. Okay.
Jim.
I already went, shh.
We buried our son under a tree on the family's property.
Okay. That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I like that. I do.
Probably thought it was a frozen skirt steak. What the fuck? The person who stole the placenta.
Marinate it. You have to marinate it for 15 minutes.
And with Rose wondering
I lost my
what it was
appetite.
used for.
If I thought I was hungry, I'm
Put some
definitely not.
birthday candles on it.
Skinny, skinny.
Well, to Rose's question, I would say the one that stole capsules of it, not knowing it probably wasn't labeled, and
Yes.
probably stole it to see what it was, get a little buzz.
Was it in capsule form, Rose, or was it a big slab like a skirt steak that they could have mistaken for a roadkill or something?
How big are capsules?
Oh my goodness. This is nuts. I'm going to go down this rabbit hole with you, Rose. Come on, tell me more about this. No, she didn't make the capsules yet, so it was like just a big hunk of. Okay.
She hadn't made the capsules yet, so they just took the placenta.
Yeah, so they took it. What was it in? Was it in like Tupperware or
What?
the placenta?
People probably do that. Weirdos.
They stole the placenta in Tupperware.
Yeah, probably.
Was it marked? Was it marked like placenta? Don't touch.
Do
Don't
not
say.
touch. Do not
Honestly,
touch
probably
placenta.
not. But like,
Save
I
for
have
anniversary.
also weirdly heard of people doing that though, like stealing placentas. People be doing weird things.
It's a witchcraft. Let's see.
Oh man! All right, I'm gonna hit the bell because I don't even know what the hell.
That rhymed.
For the last 5 minutes, I'm hitting the bell. Just cumulative. This is what happens. So when you don't have our guest on, I go right to the shock jock stuff, and I'll talk about placentas all day long. So don't go there with me,
Oh my heavens.
please. Let's move on.
Okay, so several celebrities have reported consuming their placenta after giving birth. Alicia Silverstone, Hilary Duff, Kourtney Kardashian, of course she would.
Say
Yeah, there's a lot of people here we don't know. Nikki Reed, Catherine Hagel, and Holly Madison. Mandy Moore.
I was hoping we were moving on, but okay, fine. Let's talk about this. Why were they saving it? Were they eating it?
They were
Yeah.
eating it. Yeah.
How'd they cook it? Did they talk about how they cooked it?
I'll ask.
Oh my
How
goodness.
do you cook?
You're assuming it was cooked.
Oh, it's AI.
How do you cook fresh oysters?
How do you cook placenta? Okay. The placenta can be cooked in various ways,
Oh,
including encapsulation, where it's steamed, dehydrated, and ground into capsules. See? Okay. Or cooked in familiar recipes like smoothies or tacos.
no.
No.
However, it's important to note that the placenta is not sterile and may contain bacteria or viruses. They're cooking. What else you want to know? You can blend it in your smoothie. You can have it in your tacos. You got the taco
Why do
truck
they have to
outside.
blend everything up? They have to ruin the tacos. Like,
Yeah, right? I know.
this is why we can't have nice things.
There's certain states that it's legal for you to keep your placenta, and New Jersey is one of them. Can't have home grow, but you can have your placenta.
You can eat organs
You can eat
legally.
You can eat birth juice, but you can't have
You
homegrown.
can't
Birth juice,
grow
yeah.
weed.
Homegrown, no.
No growing weed.
Made my Red Bull taste
Oh.
gross.
Well, listen, that's really good to have something to go along with, but they will help you die, and they're fine with you eating placenta.
No.
I'm just saying, I'd put it right up there.
Put it in there. Put it
Okay,
in there.
placental
close.
tissues are rich in stem cells and can treat certain diseases and life-threatening conditions.
Oh boy,
I
That's
agree.
gonna be illegal now if Scutori finds that out.
Yeah, I know, right? A placenta provides a
That'll walk
perfect environment for germs to grow, which can be a threat to your health, blah, blah, blah. Okay. It needs to go to the laboratory to be examined further. And some hospitals let you take your placenta home.
Won't you take your placenta home? Dun-dun, dun-dun.
Okay, yeah.
Is it free to keep your placenta? It's typically free. No, it's your placenta. They're going to charge you.
My placenta.
Typically, it is typically free to do so.
My
But you can donate.
placenta.
Wild.
This is a great topic. I didn't know this was a thing. And it is a thing. See, it's amazing. It's probably good
No,
for
it
you.
is a thing. It
should
is a
all
thing.
do
It's
this.
also a ritual. You know, like people buried placentas like years back. You know, it was like one of those protection things for fertility. You know, stuff like that.
Save your placenta, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone. Don't exclude anyone. Everyone save your placenta.
This is likely a very unique topic
What?
on a podcast.
I don't think everyone has a placenta. Goofy.
Yeah, really.
I know.
You're very goofy.
I
Very
do that.
goofy.
That's not what I heard.
To my
Yeah,
knowledge.
this is a unique
The act of
topic, you know.
eating placenta after you give birth. Wait a minute.
Yeah, like
Your
Oh,
placenta
yeah.
is a lifeline, blah, blah, blah. Okay. The
Good
act
pick.
of eating placenta after you give birth is called placentophagy. It is done by many animals and also some humans. You can cook it, eat it raw, or have it dried and made into pills.
Animals,
It
it-
became trendy
have
in
it,
the
try made into pill.
70s.
You can cook it, eat it raw, have it tried made into pill. You can okay. How to get that in there?
Became trendy in the 70s.
That's good.
In the social media age, you can find posts from celebrities that have done this, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
That's it.
Right
Yeah,
on.
we missed that in our
See?
growth.
yeah.
Earth juice, it tastes so good.
That's
Earth
disgusting.
juice, serve
I
it
think that's
warm.
disgusting.
It's dandy
Okay.
tasting.
I don't know. I guess I never thought about that, but it's a unique subject that I'd venture to say you could go to every podcaster that's had more than 100 podcasts and ask if they've had this discussion, and you might be in rarefied air here, you know?
We might be it, right?
Yeah, I mean, it could be it. And, you know, it was actually not, it was like nowhere near the bottom of the discussions we've had when, you know, it actually had merit. I mean, because it's, you know, real and we should know, right?
You know, I just think that's gross. That's gross.
Well,
You know what?
Chris-
And not for nothing, you guys know I did burns, I did trauma. That was my gig. You know what? But if somebody came into my emergency department and they looked like they were going to push a baby out, I said, elevators that way. Get out.
Don't want to deal with that.
Rose,
Can I
just-
help you go that way?
Rose ruined everyone's day. No, you didn't. Made my day.
No, actually,
A little bit of lemon
You know,
and
it-
garlic,
it-
Johnny
if
Trash
that-
says.
if anything, and if I was unfamiliar to this podcast, my question would be, what's he smoking? I want some.
Do you put sauce on it or gravy? I don't know. Let me
You
ask.
put it on sauce or gravy?
Oh, yeah, there you go.
The eternal question is: it you put placenta on your gravy or placenta on your sauce?
I would think there's a third option that says the same thing, because I don't think it's, you know, would it go good? Well, it might go good with it, you know. It's just good gravy, sauce.
Sauce up that placenta.
Sauce on placenta. I'm looking it
Damn.
up.
Oh,
Term sauce doesn't have a standard medical meaning. Okay.
mic drop.
And it was my phone. Hey, what? No,
No, it was my phone.
kidding.
I don't care.
Kidding. Made you look.
I drop it all the time.
Made you look. Made you look.
In general, if you hear the phrase sauce on the placenta, it's probably not a medical term.
I'm gonna stop you right there. I'm gonna stop you right there. No, no gracias. No gracias. No más.
No más. Okay.
Tengo buenas
Wait,
noches.
wait. Give me a second to prepare for this.
The
Okay, say that
best
again.
way for
Okay.
eating your placenta is to put it inside a capsule.
Oh no, go back to the sauce. Go read that again.
Do the sauce.
Yeah, please. This is too much.
Okay. What do you want? Okay. In the context of the placenta, the term sauce doesn't have a standard medical meaning. It's likely an informal way of describing something related to the placenta. Some people believe that eating spicy food during pregnancy can infect the baby through the placenta. However, this is not true. So we got that. So
Yeah.
okay.
Isn't
The
this nice
misconception
though?
might be related to the idea of sauce.
Look, before AI, we wouldn't be having this conversation because that's what it's good
Oh
for.
yeah, we might. I would pull out one of my old books.
Yeah, but you know, we wouldn't have lasted that long. You're getting
No, I know.
instant, you're getting
I know. This
instant
is fun.
replies that is taken from all sorts of other
Ruined
stuff. And like
Did you know that
quick.
For
Did
me.
you know that if you look at an ugly animal, your child will resemble that animal?
Who knows?
I
They
can't-
probably would approve of it.
I can never say sauce again. It's like moist now. The word
Oh,
moist is
Jesus.
awful. What does he see? You
Melt.
can't say moist. Now I can't say sauce. This is
You can
awful.
say sauce.
Let's ask our guests about these
Well,
questions. We don't know.
you certainly can't have moist sauce then.
Here, let's see what Mayo Clinic has to say.
Put
Oh,
mayo
thanks,
on it.
Rob.
She'll say it goes good with
Rob,
mayo.
stop it. You're going to fill up Lefty's Depends.
I'm done.
No, I have lots of room. I'm wearing a double diaper with a pad. So,
Oh, hello.
joke's on you.
Oh, hello, Princess. Hey, Rob.
Hi.
Are you staying hashy? Because you're not hashy at the Hatter.
And there's our guest.
Oh, yeah.
Please help us change the subject. Oh, but he's like, no, I'm out of here. I can't take it.
He's a nurse. He gets it.
He's like, no, you guys are crazy. No, come on in and let's get serious now.
Join.
Unless you know
Okay,
something
thank you.
about placenta. But
Rob, join.
We were talking about the
Wanna know something about-
delicacy
Can you
of,
hear me?
of the
Yeah.
placenta
Do I know something about placenta? Look, you think
as a delicacy,
You think
as an
this,
hors d'oeuvre.
you think this is easy? You think that, you don't think there's placenta involved in this shampooing here? Come on.
No, we're talking about eating the placenta.
I know. I just figured I just would, that's just figured I go off topic of the topic a little bit. I have three
Thank you.
kids. So yeah, I have three daughters. I know placenta and grandkids. Yes. So, but is it good? Is it good? Is anybody on the call on the?
No,
Fair question.
Yeah.
Well,
no.
what are you all talking? And by the way, when they say that we've been talking about, we is not all inclusive.
well, it's a thing.
Please.
It's healthy to
Please.
eat placenta. I understand it's healthy. That's all we know. It's healthy.
Yeah. It's got to
No, it's
be. You
germy.
figure- yeah,
I got a mute button to the headphones, then it looks like I'm listening. I mean, it's not on now.
Okay. Hi, Dave.
Hi, Dave. It's great to have you on, man.
Yeah,
Hi.
finally, you know.
No pressure, as Sue said. No pressure.
Well, look what you walked in on. So, hey, man, how bad could it? You can only go up from here, right?
Yeah, you can't leave Lefty alone on a Thursday. This is a Tuesday podcast here.
I'm going to roll up.
Yeah, this is when we're
be
usually this stupid.
Oh yeah. So
Yeah, we're not this dumb.
Okay, what do you want to talk about? And stop
Right.
being goofy for 2 minutes.
You just read his
Lefty's
resume.
not-
It's amazing.
Lefty is unusually goofy today.
Yeah, sorry.
Unusually.
yes. So I'm here to learn, not about placentas.
Okay. Okay. Move on.
Okay.
Yeah,
let's
Dave. Floor
Guess
is
who?
yours.
I had a few things last week, and I had some notes and stuff and things to talk about, and some phone calls I've made to several senators and congressmen, and then you guys got sidetracked because you had a really pretty intense time last week, right? The same time in New York, or I guess Sue did, and I got. So I come back a week later going, oh, what can we talk about? Oh, let me look at these notes. Well, these are all so old now because there's been so much more that's happened this week. That just enrages me. So I kind of,
if you don't mind, for the people who might be watching that haven't read through your impressive resume and what you do, could you give us an overview for bring them up to speed, if you would? Like who are you and why are you here?
Well,
I
I'm here
know.
because I'm concerned. I'm a concerned grandparent about what's going on. And I met Sue on LinkedIn a bunch of years ago now. And hey, the resume, I guess you read LinkedIn. I don't know where you got it. Sounds impressive, but it's nothing more than a lot of other nurses have done. And I've just been really lucky. to set it up. I was a pre-med major. I was a biology major. I wanted to go to medical school, but the best grade I got was the withdrawal at Boston University, which I worked really hard for that withdrawal. And then I wound up joining the service and went to nursing school. And it's just been a great ride, mostly in critical care. Did a little ER early on. I think Sue comes from an ER background, right? That's your original clinical, kind of where you started, which makes sense, kind of where you wound up for what you're into.
I started in Burns.
All the great, excuse me?
I started in Burns.
Oh, in Burns. Oh, did you? Wow. I done some eschorotomies
for 8 years, and then I did trauma.
Yeah. So, I was lucky to, I think, not ever become a physician. Just I spent more time with family. I wasn't didn't have the wherewithal then. I've been an NP now, nurse practitioner since early 2000s, one a little later than a lot of people, one in my kind of 40s. Spent 15 years in pharma as a medical science liaison working on one drug, dexmedetomidine, Precedex. Sue may know of Precedex. And I've been involved in clinical trials now the last couple years. I work for a company. Again, I just want to say that anything that I'm talking about here is completely my opinion. Don't derive or get any of this, or it's nothing, from work. I'm new with this, so I think I want to put that appropriate disclaimer out. But I'm really, really lucky to be involved in clinical trials, mostly in communities that have been, boxed out of trials for years. We do chronic diseases, and we're in a lot of communities where otherwise wouldn't have opportunities. So all the crazy, really unbelievable. I went to Haiti for 30 days after the earthquake. Spent 30 days on United States Navy ship Comfort. But all the crazy, interesting, sexy things I did, mostly cardiac surgery nurse at Penn. I'm in the greatest job I've ever been, serving really incredible communities. I spent 3 days a week in an urban setting, trying to get people to learn about clinical trials and get involved. So that's what I do now. I just stepped away from a hospitalist per diem position, so my real true clinical work is done. And so now I'm just about helping make things better. So, I'm really, really concerned. I'm gut concerned about what's going on. Today I love AI because I think AI can really, take your great ideas and help you expand them. Not that these are great ideas, but AI does showing the blatant hypocrisy make a difference? And the answer I got was, well, you're an eternal optimist wrapped in a cynic's cloak, which I thought was kind of an interesting. It says, rare at most, never in the moment. It's cognitive dissonance. And really all you have is people deflect, rationalize, double down to protect identity and their in-group loyalty. So that's really where my concern is. I'm really, really concerned and sad for my grandkids. So that's
Jim,
what I'm
unmute yourself.
Yeah.
My bad.
Okay.
Yeah, that last part you read, I thought was really well written. I mean,
Yeah.
And
no, this was AI. This wasn't me. This is AI.
I know.
Question I asked.
But well composed. Then I mean, I don't know. Well lined up. No, it really was. It was. It said a lot with very few words.
Yeah.
And it was. I like that.
So that's why I'm here. Like I said, kind of jokingly a few weeks ago when I was on with you guys for a few minutes that, Sue's got me fired up, and that's true. She does get me fired up. And, I'm just navigating carefully. Right. Cause I'm still kind of in a professional role that I really love, and, taking care of great, interacting with great people. So that's where I am out of entertain, maybe running for Congress down here, but I'm 68. I don't think I'm ready for that. I'm definitely not going to do that. So I'm actively looking for somebody to take Jeff Van Drew's seat away from him. I just left Donald Norcross in the West Deptford area, much closer to Philadelphia. In fact, just right across the river. Democrat, not terribly effective. kind of got to play, two sides against the middle there because of, Philadelphia and industry and whatever. And Steve Sweeney, as you guys know, Sweeney just lost. I know Steve well. And so it'll be interesting. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot of interest in the county here to get involved in, local politics doesn't seem want to get involved in regional politics. So that's, I'll come up for air. That's kind of where, to answer your question, Jim, that's kind of where I am and what I'm into. And I'm into alternate therapies and different things that Sue's into. So that's kind of what kind of brings me here.
Yeah, well, it would be running for Congress or any office really at least gives you a really good platform to be heard with the things that you think should be done.
Yeah.
Where I ran for state senate with one top. I was a one-trick pony, but it was a good trick, medical cannabis, and it was just fun getting into discussions with people I wouldn't normally get into discussions with. And in my case, was invited to the Asbury Park Press to sit before the editorial review board with the current Senator Cieslak and then a Democratic candidate, Britta Wenzel. And neither one was good on, we hadn't passed law yet. So it was about getting a law passed, a medical cannabis law. And my whole thing was, though, that, it showed also that, I got about 5% of the vote running on that one issue. And I had no money raised, no money spent, and yet still ended up in situations where I had quite the audience. And,
yeah, you were on the ballot. Would you consider, I'm not asking you like on my behalf, I'm just saying, would it be a consideration perhaps for you to not run a really overtly strong campaign and spending time trying to get donations, as opposed to taking the opportunity that comes your way, and then that, sometimes could lead to something bigger and all. But I'd love to hear somebody like you being able to, not an official debate, but have a conversation with a candidate. Yeah. So that's what I'm. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to do. I want to engage more than run. Right. I looked at last year. I looked at what it takes to, the whole filing thing is just like massive.
Oh yeah.
And then I was thinking the other day, like if you run one, one of these other alternative parties. Oh, well, you can answer actually. Is there truncated filing, or is the filing a hassle no matter who you run with? That's the first question that I was asking before I decided whether I'm going to move further.
Well, and say, for instance, the Libertarians case, they were eager to have me and talk me into it. I was there actually to talk at their annual meeting and was challenged, well, why don't you run? Because I just wanted them to run with medical cannabis law in New Jersey being right up top, that it would be very, very good. Had a survey done just months before that, or half a year before that, saying 86% approved, So, it was really pretty, a pretty easy gig, but also I made it clear, I'm not gonna look up your policies. I don't want to talk about libertarian policies. We don't care what you talk about. It gets them on a ballot, and I guess that counts in some sort of score or whatever. But also, I didn't like at all getting signatures. I'm not that kind of person. I find myself standing in front of a grocery store going, have you registered to vote? Because as opposed, and I'm not that kind of guy. I don't mind talking to anybody else. I don't mind anything else we had to do, but I had other people do it for me, and I wasn't necessarily going to get enough. So the main guy of the Libertarian Party came and stayed at my house for the last day of gathering signatures. I took him off, let him off. That guy could, sell ice to an Eskimo. He was good. And he got enough. It only took 100 signatures under radar. They don't check to see if they're valid. I got about 160. And then the rest was easy. It was not about me being a libertarian. It's about my point of view. And, even just all the surveys that come your way, once you're out there, was interesting. And I wouldn't want to, do it again. See, for me, I had a different sort of resume. And the first time a friend of mine, Rob Robinson in New York, found out I was running, he goes, "Really? How many ways can you think of they could take you down in a snap?" And I thought, I don't know, 4. He goes, "I can think of 6, you know." I mean, little things like, I don't know. I don't even want to say. None of them are worth bragging about. But it was things that if I were a normal candidate, normal candidate more than 2 decades ago, because that whole rule's changed too. You know, with national politics, I guess I could be anyone and say anything and still get elected. However, the rules changed in New Jersey. The Libertarians, where it used to be, you had to get your own signatures, or you couldn't, you couldn't. They made it easier where somebody doesn't want to get signatures, they'll send their posse and get them for you, and I don't know, to me it was a rite of passage, I mean, if Weed Man can run for office ever, why not me? And I found it to be a really good experience, and I got to really embarrass my senator in front of the Asbury Park Press Review Board. I got to soundly embarrass him to the point where afterwards, because I met him just before he came to save face in front, because it was pretty brutal for another discussion. But when he stuck his hand out to shake my hand, I'm shaking his hand, he said, it was good finally meeting you, Jim. And I said, really? It looked painful to me. And I mean, I threw his hand away and pivoted. And you could hear the editors laughing, and one scurried over real quick, and nobody wanted to talk to him. So, it's, maybe next time around, you'll be 2 years older.
Yeah. I think it'd be more effective maybe just trying to disrupt a little bit. I do call him out often. He only does virtual events, won't do live events. So I think I get fired up every once in a while and go, yeah, I'm going to do it. But I think I'm going to just really, really try to search. I have the state people kind of helping me too and involved. And I told Steve Sweeney he needs to move down here 10 miles, then he could maybe run. But I think we need, all joking aside, and no matter how far we take that effort, I think these are the people that we need to focus on individually to try to whittle down that sycophant majority. And that's kind of where I'm at, one person at a time. He's in my backyard. I actually learned there was quite the gerrymandering that went on with this District 2 in New Jersey. I didn't realize that. And somebody told me, a young kid, he's an exterminator and entomologist, great guy, lives in Woodstown. I don't know if you guys know South Jersey, you go a little south towards Woodstown, it gets a little purple, gets a little red, and very reasonable guy, and he'd be great to run. Nonetheless, he told me last week that they actually gerrymandered, and Van Drew goes Gloucester Canyon down towards the Jersey Shore, and then actually back up into Monmouth, I was told, which seems quite unbelievable, right? You know the map of New Jersey. So I'm going to research that because, how do you fight that kind of thing? Whether you run or not, no matter how active you become, how do you kind of fight that kind of thing? So anyway, I digress. So I think last week's, for me, I kind of wanted to mention what I think last week's headlines are, and maybe Sue could comment on some of these things too. I think absolutely outrageous, egregious was the CMS rescinding the post-Roe guidance on emergency abortion. What this will do is it rescinds Biden administration era, that kind of protected rights. And Sue, please chime in if you can offer anything else here. But it kind of gave some protection post-Roe was what it did. Still, post-Roe, the Supreme Court overturning Roe. But then this allowed women still to have emergency care. Abortion just isn't always about abortion and not wanting a child. It's about protecting, saving a woman's life. I remember now being a young OR nurse at Penn doing D&Cs urgently, emergently. And, I didn't really have any clue, like physiologically, scientifically, but that, they were life-threatening situations. So they rescinded this opportunity, if you can call this, they rescinded this right, if you will, for women to go in an emergency room to have emergency abortions, which will save their life. Quite simplistically, they don't get an abortion, they become septic and they die. But what is really horrible is what really is holding up this, why women don't get care, is because physicians are going to refuse to give women care, risking their license. So to me, one of the most egregious things that happened since he took office, since RFK, polluting the HHS, and yet we don't hear a lot about it. Not hearing anything from any of the senators. There's 4 MD senators, and you're not hearing a thing about this. So
Okay, so this is
anyway,
what
I'll come up for air again. Yeah, please.
I saw before that the AMA has not even requested, demanded Senate hearing concerning RFK and what he's doing with our health care.
Yeah.
And if we have to remove him as the person that he is, because his name carries so much weight, but that's about it. He's he's really slashed a lot of things that we need. Now, when we get into abortion, okay, I don't know. I would imagine the AMA will support us. However, when we get into, this country's going back. This country's going backwards. This is ridiculous already. Come on, I already did this shit in the 70s. I've had abortion.
Can you believe it? Yeah.
And I've taken care of women that needed an abortion. So
Right.
so it's
As I said.
it's really sad that and then I'm going to get into the whole sexual thing. It's really sad that the men in this country still think that they can tell us how we want to be treated, or if we want to have a child or not. I mean, I wasn't, and I'm opening myself up.
You're
when
gonna
I
have
had
to
an
say that
abortion,
again louder for the back to hear, because a lot of people do not hear that properly. A trend I've learned recently as I've gotten older, that communication can only go so far as long as there is comprehension. Yep.
Okay.
Thank you for your wise words. You guys are awesome.
So maybe get into some of these topics a little more detail in coming weeks if I come back. But they're weaponizing healthcare, weaponizing evidence-based medicine. They're basically taking what the legitimate scientific community advocates for years, and that's evidence-based medicine. But they're kind of using it, like almost in a kung fu kind of way, and going, well, if you need to have evidence-based medicine, you need to study vaccines against placebo. And I could sit here and articulate the reason, struggle here in 10 minutes. I could pull a reference up and give you a much better succinct answer. But basically, studying vaccines against placebo for the most part is just kind of a ridiculous drill. But yet they're going, well, you guys talk evidence-based medicine. Now this is what we need to do. So, at every turn, they're just trying to weaponize healthcare, dissolve the NCI's communications, the National Cancer Institute's communications team last week. My notes are too small a font, but basically this group is so important, providing, real-time cancer information for people to call in. With that, today, it was announced that the mental health and suicide crisis line that you could go through different prompts. And when it gets to LGBTQ, it's go to 3, and it triages the call appropriately, but then says this option will be discontinued July 3rd. I mean, so it's just outrageous. And this is why my focus is on the Jeff Van Drews of the world, the Bill Cassidys of the world.
That's so petty.
I think we got Rand Paul a little bit. If we could really get Rand Paul ramped up, I think you got him somebody that could be.
Yeah, he's been getting there. I've been paying attention to him.
Am I allowed to use bad words on this broadcast?
No, you can. You can.
He's
say
a
whatever you want.
douchebag, and his anesthesiology neighbor beat the living piss out of him on his lawn. But we need to, utilize that. The ally now for this. So Jim, to get full circle back, this is kind of the things that I'm working on. I thought I could get really intelligent to each one of these topics tonight, but maybe just at another time. The other thing that really, really, really frosts me this week, about 10 things. I'm going to completely shift topics. How about the war? He said, yeah, well, I was in the war room. Some people call it the situation room, Well, yeah, that's what it's called, the situation room, you douchebag.
A lot of people didn't know that.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't know that. And now today, I can't believe it. It's hysterical. Iran thing, 2 weeks. He'll know now in 2 weeks. Well, actually, 3 weeks ago, he was going to tell us it was 2 weeks for Russia. Now tonight, it's 2 weeks for.
Yeah, I know. 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Iran.
It's always 2 weeks.
By the way, it's still 2 weeks for Obamacare. It's still 2 weeks for fixing that. So 2 weeks. Hold your breath. So I hope I stimulated some thought, some conversation.
You have.
I heard that Canada is taking over the LGBTQ hotline for trans people, because that's so petty. I mean, and trans people, huge percentage of suicidal attempts. So let's what are you doing? What? I don't get it. It's just compassion, and there's none, and it's just so petty.
Let's prune people we don't like. That's what it is.
So thank you, Canada, for taking care of the trans people.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know how to reach the trans hotline. I guess we can look it up. The trans hotline for suicide hotline for Canada. I'm sure it must be up because they announced it. Look it up.
Yeah, the idea of ending certain categories of assistance, if they are considering suicide as an example, does it really matter? I mean, we sentence people to life rather than death, horrible criminals, but this is a minor towards sentencing somebody to death. If they need that help, the more they need it, the more chance of something really going wrong. And I mean, that bothers me to even think about it, that's accepted by enough people for it to be happening,
all in an effort to protect their identity and their in-group loyalty.
What's next? Is this going to happen at emergency rooms where you have to explain all that? Maybe turn over the keys to your social media accounts to make sure, I mean, is that next?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm flying south on Sunday, so I'm a little, not that I'm a national activist in any kind of way or a national big mouth, but I tweak enough people that you always wonder about that connection week. And they go, oh yeah, when is Albert Hill going to be traveling through my state? So I'm a little concerned about that. To your point, when is it going to happen? When is it going to be you? When is it when I'm driving down to my urban community, a black van, pulls me over and sticks a black hood over my head and, takes me away. I mean,
I just had a heated discussion with somebody about that before, because I do have family members that have green cards. Okay. I'm trying to say this as safely as I can, and also have court dates, and they're they're concerned about going to court because, as we've been watching in New York City, what happens is, you get a court date, if you're an immigrant and you are here legally, you have a green card, right? So you get this court date, you go before the judge decides to just drop everything, right? You walk out of the courtroom and ICE is there snatching people. And that's what happened yesterday when, what's his name?
The translator in Afghanistan.
That's
a big story.
in New York City, and I mean, come on. And then they locked him up,
Yeah, well,
so people are doubting that this is happening, but it is happening.
How about Padilla at the Christy Nome gig?
Right.
The man that put his life on the line being a translator for the United States for 3 years, his brother got killed for that. His mother and the kids had to go in hiding, and he came over here and got all his paperwork in order, and then had to come back for this hearing as his first hearing. I mean, if he didn't go back, he wouldn't have the right paperwork, it wouldn't. And he went, and they knew that, and still took him. He's like, thank you for your service. That would have been a good thing. They could have stopped him and said, oh, well, thank you for helping us do what we needed to do when we needed you, as opposed to, yeah, but now.
What about this back and forth that, Trump is doing with the immigrants it's okay for anybody that works hospitality, right? Why? Because they take care of his grounds at Mar-a-Lago and all that.
But he turned on that, a day or two later somehow.
He
softened it somehow.
But that's what he does. He says this and then he says that, and and then he confuses people. So for the most part,
2 weeks.
For the most part, though, the farm workers, they're not showing up. They're not showing up. And that's going to affect us really bad, because what's going to happen to our food? Like, does anybody here in this room want to go out and work on a farm? I would if I had to.
I don't like the vegetable garden here on a hot day. It's a little backyard thing.
Where I live,
doing that.
A lot of farming communities for Ryan.
On a side note, I don't know if it'll mean anything to you, but I in my wannabe band for we don't play out, but we practice every 2 weeks because but I'm going to be seeing if they're up for doing an old Chambers Brothers song called Undecided. First say you do, and then you don't, then you say you will, and then you won't. You're undecided now. What are you gonna do? It's got a whole thing. And it's a really snappy tune. And I'm not going to, I would never, if we had cause to play that and people were listening, I wouldn't even tell them what it means, but you can't help but associate it. It sounds so familiar, Like Lefty was saying, the hospitality workers and 90% and the meat packers too. I was surprised to find out that hospitality workers, farmers, 60% would be concerned, but in meat packing, 90% are not citizens. They're from somewhere else. They're illegal aliens.
I expect there to be more pushback coming back to that again, and him to flip the other way. I find it hard to do. There's going to be forces at hand that he can't refuse, I think. I don't know.
I'm going to tell you what they did in I live in an apartment building, okay? It's one of those newer buildings, that has all the bells and whistles that everybody likes. And so I moved back to Jersey from New York. And this is a lockdown building. Okay. We have security. You can't get in the building without using your phone. You can't get in your own door without knowing your own code or using your phone again. Okay, so one Sunday I'm here by myself, and the fire alarms went off. So got my dog, went down the side steps like everybody else did. We went outside, and it was an ICE agent that pulled the fire alarm. But meanwhile, because of where I live, our public servants kind of surrounded the building, and everybody that wasn't supposed to be here just kind of went away, with their hoods and their whatever. But this is the shit they do, and this is a young building, and I live in an area that's I would say we have a very large Palestinian population here. It's I'm on the edge of of downtown. I'm right on the edge.
Mhm.
You go past my building, you're downtown, and they're walking, and the uniform store is there. So anybody can go into a uniform store and get dressed up. I mean, come on.
Do they recruit people? Like is there that many?
They recruited the Proud Boys.
Yeah. I was gonna say yeah.
Yeah, they're recruiting people. They are recruiting a lot of police officers. That much I do know.
Yeah.
I've heard about the Proud Boys.
And
and
obviously they
would
have to
suspect it's
they have
true.
to answer the interview question. They have to answer the pre-qualifications correctly, of course, before they would go any further.
But
right?
this is Trump's world.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So,
what does that mean? This is, and this is mind blowing. It really is, and it's just the playbook goes like, okay, complete chaos, and keep doing the chaos and keep switching things. Like he's gonna let everybody know in 2 weeks whether we go to war with Iran or not.
yeah.
Like really. And then what? In between there, everybody's an illegal, and now nobody's an illegal, and now only some people are.
The whole Iran thing is because he wants the credit, and it's like just back off, dude. Back off.
Yeah.
Israel's doing what they're doing, killing civilians too, by the way.
Yeah.
But why are you going to do that? And and people, and when I hear his people, supporters, his press secretary say, trust in Mr. Trump. He's never led us astray. Like,
yeah, thanks a lot.
So, I don't have. How long are you guys going tonight? How long do you generally go?
Till Lefty says time's up.
Well, Jim,
I myself have probably a 6:30.
Yeah.
When I say dinner time, it's I'm not eating before 6:30.
Yeah.
Got to have rec.
I wanted to say you opened a can of worms when you said music, by the way. So maybe another time. But I have a little band, and I'm turning a little. We moved into an active adult community. I've asked them to please rename it to a very active adult community. The pickleball courts are almost done. I've never played pickleball. I've played I played racket sports in my life, and I'm going to rule pickleball. But anyway, I'm going into music. I'm into music. I'm building a storage loft upstairs to be the studio, and I have a band. And we'll have to have everybody down sometime. I want to show you my band. Allman Brothers Band is the center of my earth, and they got me into so many other genres like jazz and everything. So I bought a xylophone. So here's my band. I'm interviewing a few of these people. But I'll just give you a real quick. I don't know how well you can see. Maybe there. You. How's that?
Move it up. Move it to your left.
There you go, right there.
Yeah.
Oh,
there it is.
There's my xylophone.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that was my xylophone player.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, that's so cute.
I have a lot. This is a couple years ago. But anyway, I'll show you the 6 members of my band, and my newest. This is my oldest daughter's. How's this? Which way am I going? Keep going.
Yeah, I see it.
She was reincarnated. She grew up, I'm sure, in Haight-Ashbury, that one. So she's going to be our new front girl, and that's my youngest granddaughter, Palmer, over there, tickling the ivory. So,
Great.
I look forward to us talking music some night, and
Yeah.
and the therapeutic value there. The reason I
you're
reached out to Sue Rosen, she's going to forget, but I have a website called criticalcarelive.com. I reached out to her because I have some eclectic stuff, and I guess cannabis was.
What's it called?
criticalcarelive.com. I'll have to give you the password
I'll put it
because
in
I'm
my-
now redesigning, but I'll send you that.
Okay.
And music and medicine is kind of another big area of interest I have, which we could talk about another time.
Yeah.
But I actually approached Warren Haynes about being an author on a paper.
He's the best. Man.
Yeah, he's such a soul, such a kind soul.
Yeah, he is. It might interest you more than the others to know that I met Dickie Betts and didn't know it.
Oh.
And I was playing my acoustic guitar on a beach in Fort Lauderdale about 9:30 in the morning. Found a spot where there was nobody. There was some other a guy I knew that also was I was living in my van, gonna get a place, and I was playing. So we were passing it back and forth, jamming. And walks by a man and says, "Hey, mind if I have a turn?" I said, "Have a seat." So he proceeded to play Silver Dollar, and I'm like, what a strange song to play given an acoustic guitar, and he killed him. Whoa. So went around 3 times, and he says, listen, I got a jug of wine, and I swear he called it his git fiddle. I don't know. Git fiddle, like a guitar. I mean, it could have been that I was there. I was smoking cannabis. No, I was smoking marijuana back then.
Yeah, marijuana back then.
Yeah, but anyway, he said, "I got a jug of wine now. You all want to come back to the room?"
Please.
And my friend said, "Yeah," and I was kind of tired. I thought, "No, listen, you can take my guitar and go," and and he didn't know it was him either. Or he would have grabbed me by the hair and dragged me. But when he came back like 90 minutes later, and now he had some wine in him, and they were probably smoking. Yeah, then he dropped the hammer. You know who that was? And as soon as he said it, it was a horrible end to a great story, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So fortunate to see him with the Dickie Betts band. Never saw him with the Allmans, but saw the Allmans many times.
Yeah,
saw the Allmans with
what was that? Southern. What was the name of his Dickie Betts band?
In the Southern, Southern.
Yeah, I saw him in Ocean City, and when he did a little intermission, and he said, "So now you all can go out and smoke whatever it is you might want to smoke. We'll see you in about 20 minutes." So I stood up, and this is like long enough ago. It was pretty freaking illegal. I pulled a joint out to my 2 friends. One was older than me and one was a little younger, and said, "You ready?" And they kind of looked around. Oh, I don't know, But on the music pier, there is like a little walkway on the boardwalk as you're walking out towards the ocean to the left of it. And
Atlantic City Music Pier, right?
What's that? No, this
Atlantic City Music Pier.
No, the Ocean City Music. Ocean.
Oh, in New Jersey.
Yeah,
they
have a little. But the thing is, the maybe
that's a dry town too.
There may be 300 or so people that was there. Amazingly,
wow.
Could look out and see me. And I was puffing away with complete immunity because now I'm at the last part of it. Whereas you're leaning there, you're looking down at the ocean. I'm over the ocean, like I only got one. And I was what a bad crowd. I mean, they left me hanging. I mean, not one person hung with me on that one, but it was if you saw that, then I don't have to tell you, it was a very, very good Allman Brothers evening.
His son's really good too now. They're the Allman Betts band. It's all the sons. I saw them at Red Rocks. But music's so therapeutic. I have some real ideas of what music gets you. But I first kind of got introduced to music and medicine at work in the operating room, and the only paper out there was they put headphones on people in day surgery, just having minor surgery, and they play Yanni, and they see if Yanni would make your heart rate go down. Well, excuse me, not the joke about suicide. If somebody put Yanni on my head, I'm probably shooting myself. So that probably wouldn't be a very good study, But so I have some certain ideas, and actually reached out to Warren Haynes a couple times. and got some stuff back from his PR. I thought it'd be, as Sue can probably attest to. I'm sorry, I don't know if you guys, others aren't in medicine and healthcare, but you can often, sometimes you'll have non-healthcare professionals on paper. So I thought it'd be really cool to do some sort of study in music and medicine and have some.
I think Yoko Ono would be good for surgery.
Yeah.
Yoko Ono to wake people up.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah,
Scare you out of a coma.
She's been doing some really good stuff with her son Sean, and with John Lennon's other son. A lot of the club music now, that's theirs. That's theirs.
There's a band with John Lennon's son, Paul McCartney's son, and Ringo's son, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of cool, like Who's played too, right? Because Starkey, Ringo Starr's son, just got fired a second time. He was the Who's drummer. Phil Collins' son was Gary Clark Jr. or so. But yeah, and then you got the different family members, right? So Allman Betts' band was Greg Allman's son, Dickie Betts' son, and then Barry Oakley, the bass player's son, was touring with them too, which was,
Didn't know that part. I knew all the rest.
Yeah. So when I saw him at Red Rocks with Blackberry Smoke, who's this kind of kick-ass country rock, like getting to Nashville and all was really good, and going to different things, you realize that some of that kick-ass country is really good too.
So but your own musical play. What do you play? What do you play music?
So I played drums growing up, and tried to learn a little guitar, and really hard. So I'm kind of just sticking to percussion right now and piano. I'm trying to. YouTube is amazing for.
Oh yeah.
It's just.
No offense to a good drummer, but
I'm not a good drummer, but.
Well, you're a better drummer than any of us would be. None of us are musicians. I got a cousin plays bass, got a brother a year older plays guitar. But the thing is, if you all know what your pitch, you can hear that. Harmonies we work on, music we work on. We don't play to play out. So we just play to.
It's therapeutic.
We'll play about 20 songs tomorrow. We do it through a soundboard, so we're sitting down and we're really hearing, and you can modulate what you hear into being exactly where it belongs.
You're all remote. Are you together, or you're all remote?
No, we're all together. Yeah, we all sit down together. So the thing is, when we listen to the playbacks, we hear things we couldn't hear in passing, and we always have some synergy in maybe 6 or 7 of those songs where we played something way better than we did in the last 6 years. It's been now every other week, and but it's the synergy that there's no way none of us should have been ever, with our really rudimentary skills, to even envision that we would be playing whole songs together. And when we do like Cripple Creek with Levon playing, because it's a dedicated drum thing. So that really, the more songs we find, that's what I was saying about we don't have a drummer, is what I'm saying. But if you wanted to go look what 2 old guys and a 20-year younger guy, who my cousin, it's for being like seriously non-musicians, but we like doing what we do. You can go to YouTube and look up Homegrow Society Band, and you can either just watch it, have a good laugh, or go. If you knew where we started, it would probably be pretty good. But and you got to figure. Look at me. I'm looking at Medical Homegrow Advocate. Oh, he has a band that never plays anywhere. What's it called? It's called Homegrow Society Band. I'm a
that's okay. You got the what I think a couple of huge underappreciated therapeutic areas covered.
Yeah. Well, we did play once live at the State House about 4 or 5 years ago, and somewhere I got about 30 minutes of that. But it was fun. The only time we ever played live at the State House, So when we're playing like The Harder They Come. I could look up to where I knew Senator Scutari might be, like if he was out a window, and it was really empowering to be singing at the object of your song, like right there. You could probably appreciate that. By the way, this podcast will go down in history as the biggest swing from the beginning through the middle to the end of what we just had here today. Because I mean, for started out with placenta eating tips,
Yeah.
now
full
we're
circle.
talking about
Full
music.
circle.
Yeah, and
You know what I'm really gotten myself into is sound bowls and sound bath. You guys know that I do yoga every day. Okay, so once a week for 2 years I've been going to a sound bath every Friday night, and whoever the instructor is, she uses a variety of different bowls from Tibet, the crystal quartz bowls. She's got all different kinds of, clackers, things that sound like oceans. And it's really, really very cool, because that's what you do. You lay in, you're kind of like laying on the ground, on your mat in what we call the Shavasana pose, which is the corpse pose. It's the end of your practice. And she plays the different things that she has, the different apparatus that she has. And so I've gotten really into it. So I have bowls. So I do the same thing when I'm home. And because of they're all different frequencies. And because of the different frequencies, sound is healing, just like we've been talking about.
Yeah.
So but there's different levels of frequencies that affect different parts of our body.
Alpha, the delta. I mean, there's whole,
really cool. Yeah. I think it's really cool. You know what? First time,
if you look up brain, I type in brain music real quick, because when I need to block out other stuff, it's binaural sounds, I believe it's called, and this one has the alpha beat, which would be about 10 vibration, 10 times a second would be pretty much where it is.
Yeah.
And when I put that on, it's real low and it blends with any other sound,
Yeah.
And what's the mechanism? What's the mechanism of action of the vibration into your? What is that? Do you know?
The mechanism of it?
Yeah, no, I asked Sue. That bowl, that vibration then enters your body. That's kind of a physical. That's a physical interaction that's happening there. It's not. It's not a psyche thing.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
So it's according to whatever the frequency is to whatever part of your body that you're trying to work on.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's impulses. I mean, right now we're all probably going about 21 cycles a second. Electrical impulses are measurable, and when you wake up and you have that morning clarity for a second, that'd be the alpha level at 10, whatever. But I think with what I listen to, it says specifically. So if you just put on a 10 times a second, it would do it too. I mean, a 10 time a second thing, and then the healing method.
This is sound bowl.
Yeah.
This is sound.
But it's pretty interesting,
Yeah, and it's very healing. But we know that music is very healing.
Yeah. There's an amazing book called a neurologist did it called Musicphilia. If you ever get a chance, it actually may be on Kindle or whatever. Yeah. Tales of Music in the Brain. It's really deep and really amazing. And the good Musicophilia, Oliver Sacks, he is the neurologist. And like the good, bad, and the ugly, right? People that just have this repeating rhythm in their head all their life and they can't get rid of it, and some that really love that. Amazing book. I read it a while ago. I might have to open it up again. I don't know if I look for it on my Kindle, or whatever I have. I think sometimes they go away. They want you to pay again. But I think there's this endorphin thing. I kind of have read the science. I think there's things in music that I think about the things that really turned me on. Change in an octave, change in time, decrescendo, crescendo, I don't know. But yeah, I think it's those kind of things that kind of really turn you on, right? Those things you really wait for in a song. Yeah. So please. You first.
Ever look at reaction videos to songs you like? And if you go to YouTube, a reaction video. Yeah. But I like to go for songs I like that move me, and it's sort of reacting by a studio musician or by a sound guy or by a composer. and
Yeah.
they react. And to me, it's really gratifying when here's the part that I mean, just whatever it is, and you see it strike somebody as well. I mean, sometimes it's just something simple like the sound of Gary Brooker beginning Whiter Shade of Pale in 2006
Yeah.
at a
Oh, man.
Danish
Yeah.
Symphony thing, you know, amazing, you know. But the people that have never heard like Pink Floyd, The Dark Side of the Moon, when they go through it, it's you see this incredible, and then when it's somebody that knows, he was doing the Beach Boys and the Beatles more like the Sgt. Pepper's. When he got to the Beach Boys, he's like, that's 3 time changes and 2.
Yeah.
I don't know. And you know it's coming. So you know I'm thinking, yeah, you think that's something waiting about 3, 2, 1, and it, you know. But this is somebody that's so smart about putting things in. You know, he's like, oh, Mellotron, I love that. You never hear that. I mean, he just kind of knows what everything is.
What I really like about YouTube is, you know, I guess the 2 big ways to, you know, people that could read music and people that just play by ear or whatever. I don't know kind of what that means now, because once you start diving into the YouTube videos, invariably you get into some theory sometimes. And I kind of find that interesting theory now. I didn't think I would when I first started, you know, getting it. I didn't know theory when I played. I didn't really know much about theory until the last 5 years. But yes, I'm very intrigued, and you know,
it's led me to a new thing that benefits. Oh my God, if I had YouTube and all that when I was a kid, I'd be a musician. But it's a keyboard, my keyboard here.
Yeah.
You know, I've always wanted to play it. Said I never could, but I never gave it a try. And I'm just loving the practice and what I can get a head start on with YouTube.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's all about establishing muscle memory, and then how I can. It's so hard. I mean, playing the guitar, my hands are working together in an pretty easy way.
Really?
But when different rhythms and different things with opposite hands, that takes some getting used to. But when it starts happening, I swear I can't play something with my right hand that I need my left hand to dance with it. I can't.
I'm sure there's some common people that we've, you know, those ones that keep showing up that are just like really such great teachers, you know, like jazz. Like I'm fascinated with the whole 7 chords and 9 chords, you know, like you talk about, you know, you guys getting the synergism. You talk about musicians that just are like absolutely connected metaphysically. It's jazz artists, right? Just anyway,
that's really where I think cannabis was at its finest.
From the beginning of time, you know, man has always sought to mimic the sounds of the universe.
Yeah.
That's what music is. It's universal. When I got into the sound bath thing, you know, and I started, you know, I got my own sound bowls, and I sat on the floor in my living room with my dog, and I figured she'd run away as soon as I, like, you know, started, you know, fucking around with the sound bowl, because I really didn't know what I was doing, but I was doing it. She sat there and she stared at it, and she recognized the sound. So I was like, damn, I was looking at her saying, she knows this sound. She knows this sound, you know, and I thought that was pretty amazing. And she still does that, you know, whenever I take the bowls out and I want to, you know, play around, she sits there and she listens and loves it. Wow. It's incredible. It's pretty cool. Anyway.
Well, I'm glad to hijack the conversation in a direction that the guest wants to go, because we're at your disposal in this conversation.
Yeah, maybe someday I can come back on from my studio upstairs when that's all set, and maybe we can.
That would be great.
Hey, do you guys have the ability for a guest or anybody on share a screen? Like, so if I wanted to share a screen, do you have the ability with that platform?
Lefty.
I think so.
Okay.
If you want to share one,
not now, but for future, like something I wanted to share, you know, on my computer, a documented page, whatever I wanted to share.
Oh, and just so we don't disappear out of contact from the latter part of this discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah. I for I don't know how many years now I've been trying to get to say here's my email without
Yeah.
anybody writing it down. So pot4ms at yahoo.com. See, 6 characters.
I'll give it to him.
Yeah, Sue will send it to
Dave
me.
and I talk all the time.
Yeah,
so
I know. Well, I know, but see, then that defeats the purpose of me doing that.
Okay,
I
then
just
you
one
do it.
time, you know.
Yeah, let me hear it again. I love that. Go ahead.
Jim, I
Well,
couldn't hear
it's
you.
like it's a license plate. Pot4
Okay.
MS.
Okay.
I spent the 1990s trying
At
to
where?
convince everybody in New Jersey that pot was good for MS.
Hot for MS where?
Yeah, no, it was like, and it became one of the earlier recognizable
Yeah.
diseases that it would help. But I fought the MS Society's Dr. Reingold for a decade about this, where they were
Really?
always well, I was, well, if you Google search me, you'll see how I was kind of doing things
Yeah.
different that decade. But yeah, it should be. It's like I only didn't have it as a license plate because I figured, well, that's going to get me stopped, back in the day. So I thought, I want to be a team player and I don't want to take myself away from the team, even if I thought that would be fun. But so few people, here, let me, no, pot4ms, license plate. But, if you knew me better, you'd know exactly what was it for again? It's Jim, it's for MS, But yeah, because like if you were, and also the fact that you're like that you can drum. We used to go to a studio called Looney Tunes every couple of months. It was very cheap, and we would play because we had a drummer that could come play there with us, and we did it, and it was really fun. And I'm thinking, like, at some point in my life, it'd be like, hey, man, I wonder if I could talk this drummer into showing up at a studio near his house where we could travel just to get a drummer and have some fun, It's so totally different. The one we had, he would start to speed up, and he was into it so he wouldn't be looking. And I heard a good joke you might, I forget what movie it's from. It's like, how can you tell when a bad drummer is at your door? How? His knock speeds up. His knock speeds up. In other words, something going.
His timing sucks, right? His timing sucks.
Yeah, and my timing for talking about bad timing is equally bad. So what do you got? I was hoping -2 would be times -2, not plus, and we'd have a +4.
I am getting a Medicare call. Someday we'll talk. I'll play you some of my recordings from there. I basically tell them, I said, well, I'm dead. Can I still get Medicare? I'm dead. And I drag them along for a while. So I won't answer it right now.
Yeah, I'm getting real close to.
All right,
just left.
Thank you so much. I'm honored. Really, honest to God.
Well,
You're a superstar there, Sue. You're a superstar.
Do you have
I keep telling everybody I'm a rock star. Nobody believes me.
No, we
You got a
believe
website?
you.
I only like or repost your stuff like 37 times a day, so it's all good. Keep it up.
You know what I like best? You'll recognize this.
You make me read so much. You make me read so much, though. So like
You're not getting a bobbing head dial with Sue. She'll say, "You really think so?" And then. And that's where you learn. I mean, in other words, when okay, it's quite possible in this situation, I need to learn something. So, that's always a pleasure because.
Do you guys ever get together? Do you guys ever do a remote thing together?
We should.
Yeah, we really should, because I'm all the way up by the bridge.
Yeah.
You're by the G.
Yeah. So that's always my excuse,
Without getting too latitude or longitude left, where are you about?
I'm in the middle, right at Avenel. I'm right in the middle of Jersey here.
How about you, Jim?
Exit 43 off 295.
Oh,
Okay, 43 miles, or 43 miles.
We're really close.
Yeah, well, it's I don't know. Central Jersey seems and south of it.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
feels
yeah.
central, but
Yeah.
it's
I'm in Mount Laurel all
south.
the time. I'm in Mount Laurel all the time. Yeah, so we're that close. I was 295/20. I'm now closer to the turnpike, so I'm exit 2 at the turnpike.
Yeah, I know
Okay.
where. Yeah,
Wow.
okay, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That's
322. You know, to the shore or over the Commodore.
yeah, yeah.
And,
Dave, you have a website or something you want to promote?
not at the moment.
Just so you know,
But I would like to sell. I would like to sell some old hardware I have here, some old mobile phones and stuff. Can I do that? No, I'm
yeah,
teasing.
absolutely. Go ahead, go for it.
But thank you. No, I'm kidding you.
They're not gold colored, are they?
So tell me about promoting a website. I'm kind of, what were you suggesting?
No, I was just asking if you had a website or something you wanted to promote on.
I do, and right now it's being reorganized. Sue, I'm going to send you the password later on, and maybe I love that, and we could do maybe some
Yeah, that would be fun.
shout outs, because my website is all about acute care, across the spectrum of acute care, but again, a lot of eclectic stuff, architecture and medicine, everything, alternative care, cannabis, music, so on and so forth. I'll share that.
Okay, let's do it.
So,
Yeah, that's been great, man. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate
thanks.
As
Okay.
You guys
far
are
as,
awesome.
thank you
Dave,
so
we'll
much.
talk tomorrow.
Thank you, Dave.
Pretty cool. I'm
Okay.
sure. See
All
you
right.
guys.
See ya.
Thank you so
As
much.
far as the other subject, some people describe the taste of placenta as metallic due to its high iron content, liver-like, similar to the taste of animal liver, earthy with a slight mineral taste, bland, some people find it almost tasteless, and gamey, reminiscent of the taste of wild game. Thank you. You're welcome.
Okay.
it. Good times.
Thank you.
Peace
Peace out.
Good times. Oh, he stayed for the placenta. I'm glad he stayed for the placenta.
Yeah.
Okay.
Long enough to leave quick. No.
That's great.
Yeah, I got breakfast for
I
dinner.
sent you a message. Read it at your leisure, okay?
What did you send me?
A complaint. I filed a
With a
complaint.
smile. Complain with a smile.
Yeah, you don't have to read it now.
Yeah, come on. I got breakfast breakfast for dinner because I can't have it for breakfast because I don't eat breakfast. And the thing is, that's best when it's like right on the table, you know.
All right. Well, I want to thank the Mad Hatter for having us here. Get your shatter at the Mad Hatter. Get yourself fatter in the food truck at the Mad Hatter. Fill your bladder. Fill your bladder at the Mad Hatter.
Oh, now you got help.
You're live.
Get hashy at the Mad Hatter.
That doesn't rhyme though. Get hashy at the Mad. The Mad Hashy. It's called the Mad Hashy.
Your heart will go pitter patter at the Mad
Let's
Hatter.
talk to Rob. Mad Hashy. The Mad
Sounds
Hashy.
good.
I like
Sounds
it.
good.
I'm down.
But thanks for having me on here, guys. It was nice to actually have a conversation with you guys this time rather than watching through the screen. I'd like to
nice
do
to
this
meet
more
you.
often.
Yeah. If you can handle the conversation you were in, you can handle anything.
I'll actually contribute more to the conversation next time.
What are you doing now? You smoking? What are you doing over there?
I am currently working on some back end stuff for Mad Hatter Dispensary.
What kind of stuff? Anything good? I know you were very busy back there, like
For the
slinging weed.
website, trying to make it a little more hashier and more aesthetically pleasing.
That's your website.
Yes.
Coming soon.
Oh yeah, hashy, yeah.
I love it. I love it. You're the best, Shelby. Thank you.
You're the best. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. The Hashy Girl. What is your name now? You have a couple of names. I'm gonna make sure I get the right one because Instagram, right? Instagram. It's New Jersey Hashy Girl, and then there's another one. Shelby Stay Fried. That's right. Okay, that's those two right there. Check them out. Like and follow Mad Hatter on Instagram too.
One more thing. Since he brought up Instagram, I'm glad you did. I almost forgot. I won't be able to go live for 9 days, but it's okay. We'll be back and hashier than ever. Also, once we are, I'll be able to go over the details for New Jersey's Hashy Girl giveaway. I'm giving back to the community for all it's done for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Right on, right on. Thank you, Mad Hatter, for having us, and get your food at the Mad Hatter too. You can get your weed, get your food, and come here and smoke with us on Tuesdays and Thursdays. You can show up here at 420 and smoke with us on the podcast. Just come on in.
Speaking of food, eggs are in the pan. Just
Eggs are in the pan.
And I got to tell you, when they come out, I'm out. Well, within 2 minutes.
CMMNJ, UFCW, Arlo Glass, OprahMachine.com, and SativaCross.org. Where you can donate to us, which we can use some money because we are broke, and we can use some money to buy wheelchair ramps for some businesses.
Hey, listen, I forgot. I didn't do a fundraiser this year. It's been pointed out my birthday's tomorrow, so I'll put one up today. Last time it was $85, and Jeff King, Kathy, me, and Rick, I think, were the only people that donated. I don't know. I try, you know.
Yeah, you do try. I know.
You know.
I donated.
Oh, you
I always donate.
Yeah, you do. But anyway, I'll put that up later tonight. It'll be up a couple days later, you know. So go ahead. Plates are getting on the table. I took you away.
Cheryl Miller, Sabina Rose, Diane, Gracie, Cindy May, Marie, Jack, Joan, Randy, Polly, Bill, Chad, Jeremy, Colette, Matt, Troy, Russ, Roger, Jay, Ella, Hattie, Jackie, Anthony, Jake, Armando, Felicia, Lynn, Dan, Sean, Joyce, Lori, Frank, Brian, Flo, Carl, Thorne, Frank, Lorraine, Terry, Charlotte, Cher, Jaybird, Michael, Marley, Colette, Brendan, Red, Rico, Lou, Becky, Luanda, Chip, Paul, Lisa, Marcus, Gary, Julia, Wayne. There's a big party for Wayne Saturday. Come out to Wayne's Memorial Bash. Come get Barini High at the Mad Hatter on Saturday. 2:22 it starts, and then we're having bare knuckle boxing after to keep the party going. Wayne would love that. I'm going to have some Barini's balls here. I'm going to have a pot of Barini's balls, so you can all dip in and enjoy some hot Barini's balls, and we'll show his balls on the screen.
At the Mad Hatter on Saturday.
At the Mad Hatter on Saturday. Day.
Oh, if you abbreviated Saturday to Saturday, you have one more. Anyway.
We're going to have big fat blunts, so get your blunts fatter.
Yeah, I was trying to stay away from the
day.
That list always leaves a cloud, so I thought I'd throw that in. You know,
We're not done with the list yet. I'm not going past Wayne yet. We're still talking about Wayne because there's going to be a big party. His balls will be here. His balls will be here in sauce, not gravy. Sauce. And I'm kicking up the sauce. I'm putting roasted mirepoix in the sauce, in the marinara. So you take the mirepoix. You know what mirepoix is, what? Right?
I know I'm about to have dinner. I'm not listening.
It's a carrot, celery, and an onion. And you take that, you roast it, you puree it, and you throw it in the sauce. So there it is. Yeah. Thickens it up. It sweetens it up. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I showed it to an old Italian guy. I changed his life. I didn't do it. I learned it from Alton Brown, of all people. Alton Brown on the Food Network. Yeah. I was like, what is this? I'm going to try it. And I tried it. It was, what? Mm-hmm. Cool. It's just mirepoix. Mirepoix. It's a French word for the trilogy of those things. So Wayne, we're going to send Wayne off like he should be sent off, with respect, love, and big fat doinks and blunts and dabs and food, and we're gonna laugh and we're gonna have fun. And if anybody cries, I'm gonna call you a little bitch. I'm gonna do Wayne's job on Saturday, and if you cry, I'll call you a little bitch. And I'm gonna call you Leftina. Your name's gonna be Leftina. Whatever your name is, I'm gonna make fun. Jim Tina. If you cry, Jim Tina.
Jim Tina's really watching stuff get put on the table now.
Yeah.
Hear that? Hear that? You know, that's cooking
Okay,
noise.
I'm almost done. I'm almost done.
Okay. Jeff Oates is our last name on the list. And, well, we'll see you Saturday. Come out Saturday, and Sunday's Cannabis Church. Come on out. And I'm going to get my food on right now because the food truck is here. I ordered my food, and it's coming. All right. They went with songs to the battle. They were young, straight of limb, true of eye, steady and aglow. They were staunch to the end against odds uncounted. They fell with their faces to the foe.
Oh,
They shall grow not old as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning we'll remember them. See you,
Peace out.
everybody.
perfect timing. That's like,
Okay, bye guys. I love you.
yeah,